everyone.
Hi.
This is Kelly. Today we're going to go through what she does to my hair. She's going to do the color, a little bit of highlight. She's going to do a dusting, a nice little trim. And what else are we doing? Toner.
Toner.
Yes. Okay, so what I did this morning is I posted on, Kelly's just going to get started, and I posted on Instagram some questions, and I'm going to go through them. But as she's going along, the most question I get asked from my subscribers is what brand of color you use, what formula you use on me, and I know with formula they have to understand the base of my hair. So, what brand are you using, Cal?
Okay, so I'm using Goldwell, and this is top sheet color, so it's permanent color. And the only time you want to use permanent color is when you have gray.
And do I have any gray?
A little bit. So maybe look down so you can see. So you're pretty white. You have a couple little darks in between, but you're pretty white for the most part. Mm-hmm. So this formula is only going to work if you have your color to start with here.
Okay. And with my hair, you treat it as my level, so people understand, because some people are level 6, level 7. Mm-hmm. I am white hair. You're treating me as a white-haired person.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so if someone is white like me and they have to really be white like me to achieve anything similar, what formula, I mean, what levels are you using on me? If you don't want to give it away,
this is,
you don't have to.
Of course, I will give away all my secrets. This is Goldwell 8N and just like 5 mils of 8SB, which is like a little coolant, so it kind of makes it look a little more natural. Mm-hmm. And I don't use, there's a color for resistant gray hair, and I don't use it on you just so it allows your gray to kind of be more like a highlight.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, and then with 20 volume, mix it with.
Okay.
But if you have brown hair and you put this on,
see, that's what I want you to help them understand.
You're gonna be a redhead. So you have to be starting with white hair for this formula to even work on you.
Okay. And what are you doing there with the little section?
I am doing tiny little baby lights.
Because Tammy doesn't like.
She doesn't like stripes. She's not a tiger. She does not like the stripes.
One thing I had a lot of people ask underneath my hair video is, how did you find a hairdresser that you trust? Or how did you find a good hairdresser? For me, I happened to stumble across Kelly through another stylist that I had, but I found that stylist by asking someone. She was getting a mammogram and she had beautiful highlights in her hair, and I thought, I'm going up to her and I'm going to ask her, and that's what sent me to the salon that led me to Kelly. And Kelly, you've been doing my hair, what, good 15 years now?
Yeah, I was trying to think of it this morning. I think about 15 years, yeah.
And what I like about Kelly is she listens to me. I don't walk into her salon and she says to me, well, we need to cut your hair because you're over 50. Do you believe in that myth?
No, I don't believe in it. I believe if your hair is dead and thin, yeah, you should cut it. But at any age, if you're 20 and you have dead, thin, long hair, I think you should cut it. But if you have beautiful, thick, pretty hair and you like long hair, who am I to tell you you can't have it? Exactly. You're paying me.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly.
So,
but I also don't think that hair should be decided upon because of the age you are.
No.
You
I don't think so. Like, who started that?
And I believe that at any age, if your hair is dead and unhealthy and fried, then you need to cut it at any age.
Yep.
But if you have, and Cal, it's true, some people's face and body just aren't suited for super short hair, don't you think?
I do think that too, yes, oh for sure. It really draws a lot of attention, I think, when your hair sometimes is a little short. I mean, I do not look good with short hair, I can tell you that.
Yeah. And neither would I. And another thing is,
I mean, honestly, I do think you would look good with short hair because your face is like,
well,
come on right now.
I paid her to say that right now.
No. But it just would be, honestly, with your hair texture, it would be more work for you the shorter you go, honestly, because it just would get puffier, and then you'd have to get a keratin, and
exactly.
Where now a little bit of weight for it is good, and you know, you're someone that washes your hair every day, which I don't necessarily recommend, but your hair's in super good shape. Like, you do all the right things to it. You're not over styling it, you're not over pressing it, you use super good products, and it makes all the difference.
Right. All right, so what I did is I put a little picture of you on Instagram this morning, and they sent me some questions. So I am going to just ask you a few of their questions so you can give your opinion. And remember, another stylist may have a different opinion from Kelly. All right, it says, This one says, does she recommend drugstore color root touch-ups in between visits?
No, and here's why. Because there are so many products on the market that are really good root cover-ups without permanently coloring your hair. Right now I'm using the brand Wow, their root cover touch-up, which is awesome. I love it. And you put it on like an eyeshadow and just put it on your grays until you wash your hair.
Oh, okay. You mean like Style Edit and Rita had sent? Oh,
Yep.
so Wow has one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was voted like #1 in our industry from like hairdressers. So I got a whole bunch and I'm trying them, and I really like them.
Okay.
But if you do use them and you go to the salon to get your hair colored, wash them off before you get there, because sometimes they make it a little harder to, especially if you have gray hair, to color over them.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then it says, let's see, the next person, it comes from Sheila Havens. That last one was from Glam35. And this comes from Sheila Havens. What is the product of choice for stopping or aiding in hair loss?
Kind of on the fence about it because I feel like Propecia and like Rogaine and that kind of stuff. Well, Propecia's for men, but like Nioxin, you have to commit to using it basically forever. It blocks the hormone that makes your hair fall out. So if you can be committed to that, then that's okay. But for a lot of people, it causes like inflammation in their scalp, and like they can get scabs and all other stuff because it's super cleansing and I think almost like astringent sometimes. I don't know. A lot of times I feel like if something is going on with hair loss, it might be something internal. So maybe like it's something like that going on. So I don't know necessarily if a product is going to really make it.
Right.
You know, a lot of the volumizing stuff just strip your hair with so much stuff, so it makes it feel fuller because it's just doing that. So I guess I can't really say. The only thing I've ever seen have a drastic changes in hair and like skin. One of my clients was juicing every day.
Yeah.
And all different stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw a difference in her hair. Like she had psoriasis, it was gone. Her hair was shiny from the root. Things like that, like what you eat.
But again, that went back to internal.
Yeah.
She was treating internally. Now I do a Vital Proteins collagen supplement, and you have recommended it to a couple of your clients.
Yeah.
And some of them have seen a little bit of results, some haven't.
Yep.
So, and then biotin, for me, to take a biotin supplement, it breaks my skin out. So you have to find what works for you.
Yeah, and it's not going to work for every single person.
Yeah, exactly. And some things, I mean, genetic plays a big role.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, so the next one comes from NGG0112. Please, can you ask how to get your hair color and how to prevent dryness of processed hair? Well, I got a big one. Find a stylist that doesn't overlap.
Yes. So that's what I'm doing with these, with their highlights. So I'm only kind of doing the new stuff that I have to do.
Right.
And then I'm leaving out those ends because I'm not going to bleach over them because that's going to fry them.
Exactly.
Then you're getting fry lights instead of highlights.
Yeah, fry lights. I like that. I like that. And it's true. If you're bleaching your hair, you're damaging. So then if you have a stylist who is overlapping, it's making the whole situation, it's making it even worse.
One of the things for me that is the worst culprit, because I know on my end I'm doing everything I can to keep hair healthy, is the flat iron and the curling iron. It is the worst. People are like, oh, I only use it once a week. Well, that one time a week when you're snap, crackle, popping, bye-bye. It's gone until you get a haircut, honestly.
Yeah, you need to turn that heat down a little bit, don't
and
you
even
think?
like heat protectors. I mean, they can only do so much. They can aid in it, but still, I mean, it's, you know, it's that hot, just fried.
So, okay, so how to get my color, she already answered that, really. And the dryness is, a lot of that takes place at what you're willing to do at home for yourself.
You know, if your hair's gray, you are naturally going to be drier than someone that doesn't have gray hair. And if you're using conditioner in the shower, and you have like finer hair, only do it on your ends, you know what I mean? So just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people with fine hair say, I won't do masking, I won't do conditioner because it weighs my hair down.
Yeah.
Just do the ends, do the dead part.
Or if they're worried about it weighing down their hair, they can put conditioner on their hair dry on the ends first, and then rinse it, and then shampoo it. So shampoo's the last thing on your hair too.
Yes.
So.
And that would be a pre-treatment, my friends.
Like a pre-treatment,
Yes. Okay, so let's see. Now the ones that are medical, Kelly's not qualified to answer anything that has to do with medical conditions. But, you know, I'll go ahead and ask them, but, you know, I mean, that's a place that...
I'm good, thanks.
That's you know, that's for your doctor and yourself to really talk about.
Sorry.
So let's see, the next one comes from Picture Crazed. I have lupus, diabetes, fibromyalgia, and no thyroid. Is my hair ever going to not be dry and brittle?
I mean,
I would have to say that thyroid really plays a big part.
I know. Yeah, it's tough. And if she's gray on top of that, it's like the trifecta of like just stuff. There are some new treatments. So we get a couple new treatments. I just got this new Redken treatment. Grab it real quick.
Okay.
So this is something you put on your ends, and then you shampoo it off, and it's supposed to be something for dryness and breakage.
Extreme Length Primer.
I just got it, so
she
I'm
hasn't
gonna use
used
on you
it,
today.
but we can do it. I might have to go and get it. I can buy this myself, and I'll give it a try, and then I can let you all know what it did for my ends. So the next one comes from HB Morris 9. I have long hair and have never colored or treated my hair. It's healthy. I am not becoming or at the age of seeing gray in my hair. I am a true brunette and used to be the key phrase, have natural red highlights. I want to now look into a color with my stylist, but so afraid my hair will look 80 when I am only 44. Makes sense? Can she recommend anything I could suggest?
So she's 44 and does not have gray. And she's got brown hair.
Yeah.
You don't have to color it. Don't do it.
Right.
I think, especially if it's beautiful. There also are things you can do too. So even if that situation where I have clients that get a couple grays, I won't do a full color on them first. Right. I'll either highlight them with color, and I'll try to find their little grays and put a color on them in foils. Or I can highlight them, especially if they have nothing on their hair, with like a high lift blonde color, which would give them kind of natural highlights. Don't do them by the root, so they can just kind of grow out, and then you have no maintenance with them. But I think if it's pretty, there's no gray, and you don't want to color it, don't do it. Save yourself some money.
Exactly. All right, here's Maybeth Jewelry. Please ask about the newer keratin straightening treatments. I get the Natura treatment once a year. It's amazing. Thank you.
So I'm not super familiar with keratins. I sent them to Emily, who does most of my keratins. So I'm not positive. I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
I know that some of them had taken the formaldehyde out of the products, and then I heard they weren't working as good. And somehow they managed around that. So I'm not really sure. We use Keratherapy in the salon.
Right.
And people are really happy with that.
Okay. All right, so this one comes from Kate Nuck. Best product for taming frizz in humidity. You can only go by the humidity we have, which is nothing like the southern humidity.
I know, and it depends on the hair texture too. So like I love TGS Factor, but I think they just discontinued it, which I don't know why.
Okay.
They did not talk to me first, obviously.
You know, companies do that to me too. They don't come knocking on my door or pick up the phone and tell me, hey, we're going to discontinue this. What do you think?
I do love that one. But it kind of just depends. Like if someone's leaving their hair curly, that I might suggest a different thing, you know?
Yeah. I think that it is a, I think there's different products for different, you know, people, because some things I hear people say, oh my God, this is the best humidity tamer. It gets on my hair, it does nothing. But then yet I have, I think Frizz starts with towel drying. You know,
like
when they're
roughing?
Yeah, when they're roughing it up, doing friction.
Okay,
I think if
so
they're holding their blow dryer the wrong way, they really enhance the frizz.
Yep, your cuticle's not laying down.
Right. I mean, I know when I'm in Florida, the minute I walk outside, I can have my hair nice and smooth, use the taming products, the frizz-free products I use here, and go outside in Florida, and boom, I'm like a Brillo pad.
Yep.
So it really, I don't think there's any one product that is going to give you 100%.
I have been trying out too the Color Wow Dream Coat, and you spray it on like each section of your hair. It just gives you like that kind of glass hair, and I do like it, but not on everybody's hair.
Okay, and how do you feel about long-term use with that? Because I actually did a video on that, and it does work.
Okay.
But I felt the more I used it, I was feeling a little brittleness.
Oh, really? Okay. So I just started using it, so I don't know, but
it'll be interesting to see what you think after.
It lasts like 3 shampoos.
Yes.
Which that surprised me. I thought, like, wow.
Yeah.
What's it doing that it's lasting on the hair that long? But
yes. Okay, so this one is Yvonne Moginty. What method does she use to achieve your blonde? Well, we just talked about that.
Yeah, so base color and then a little bit of baby lights. It
Yeah.
depends. Like when you come in, sometimes you're like, I'm washed out. I need some low lights.
Yeah.
I need a little brightness.
Yeah.
I just need a hug.
Yeah.
And you really don't need anything.
Okay, so this one is I Am H Sparky. I touch up my hair at home and buy the Redken gel lacquers and Shades EQ gloss. Would love to hear your thoughts on those.
I actually love those. I love Redken. It's a great product. Like your toners, a lot of times I'll use Redken for, and that's a really good thing. Someone who knows what they're doing, because the shades would be for the ends, and it doesn't have any it's a demi-permanent, so it's not gonna be overlapping. Like you never want to use permanent on ends that are not gray.
Okay. All right, so this one is Desi, 2 Sons. I think it's a repeat. What is the color formula for those of us that live far away to get her? So, you know, she pretty much told you the formula she uses, but the most important thing there is the base of your hair, because I am probably, what, 85% white?
Yes.
With a little bit of darkness. And I don't know how you manage to match it all up, but you do.
But if you were darker naturally and wanted this color, I would not lighten your base to be this light. I would I would maybe lighten it 1 level or so and highlight it to get the look that I want. This way you're not going to get orangey.
Okay. Because you will get orange if you go slapping it on brown hair.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. This one says, this one's from Lean Nellis. What hair mask does she believe helps with mature women frizzy hair? Well, girl, you need to watch my channel, because I talk about all the hair masks, okay?
So, but if I know products, I'll come to you, Tam, because you're the expert. I'm not a huge product person, but
I talk about hair
masks
masks, a ton of them. I mean, Keratin has some of the best masks, and they don't carry them in this salon. You know, there's so many good hair masks. Do you have one that you like in particular of the brands you use?
Like Colorproof has a couple of really good ones. Keratherapy makes a really good keratin mask too.
Yes. Okay, so this one comes from Stacy Sunnyside. What does she think is the best styling cream or potion for fine hair that can tend to frizz to add depth and body and smoothness? Again, just any products you carry here that you're familiar with.
So I like Colorproof makes a smoother. It's like in a hot pink bottle. There's a whole smoothing line, but if she's got kind of fine hair, I would just suggest just using this product of the line and just a tiny bit of it. It's almost like the S Factor. I kind of feel like they copied it. But it's a little lighter than the S Factor. Just on the ends, and then maybe use like a mousse at the root to give you a little bit of body and then smoothness.
Right, okay. Okay, so this one comes from Lincoln the Poodle. What are the best types? Oh, I also told him that you're really excellent in color, and you are good at hair extensions. So now we're going to get into some hair extension questions.
Bring it on.
And Kelly has hair extensions. Do you? Are you wearing them right now?
I'm just kidding. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Kelly has really thin hair, fine hair. 5
hairs and a freckle. I have.
And Kelly had to go and get braces on her teeth because she was not a good girl with her Invisalign.
Yeah, no, non-compliant.
And she just went through it.
Now it's like a jail term.
Okay, so here is this. This is from Lincoln the Poodle. It says, what are the best type of hair extensions that won't damage your hair?
Okay, so there are many types. I do a lot of extensions called Hair Dreams, and that is for hair that is thick enough to kind of cover up, like the area the bonds are a little bit thicker there. That was the least damaging that I knew of until I tried the hand-tied extensions. And I'm newer with the hand-tied extensions, but from what I have seen with those is they are even less damaging. Although I wouldn't say more or less. I would say
all extensions damage to some extent.
A tiny bit. But I think if you take care of them well, they're not like they were years ago. Years ago, I mean, they would just really damage and ruin your hair, and I think they've really, really come a long way. The thing is, with a hand-tied extension, you can reuse the hair. With some other extensions that are like a keratin bond, you really can't reuse the hair.
When you say how they care for them, I'm not familiar with extensions at all. I've never had them, although people accuse me of having them. I've never had extensions.
It's all you right here.
So what do you mean by them taking care of it?
So if they're really rough on their hair, or they do things that when I put them in, tell them not to do, they're not going to last you as long. And if with the Hair Dreams, if you lose one of them, it's pulling out your own hair too. So whatever it's attached to, that's all coming out.
Okay.
It's not really going to slip out. You're going to like have a little bald spot. So you got to just be careful. Most people usually are because they don't want to lose their hair.
Right.
Like these extensions I have in now that are hand tied. So this is with the company Bombshell. They recommend only kind of washing the whole extensions kind of once a week.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it's a lot of hair too, so it's a lot of work. So I'll wash my hair on the top and my hairline, and I'll just kind of re-blow dry that and let the bottom kind of go. And with these extensions, you have to put a little bit of oil on them every day for moisture, and not a ton of product on them. Honestly, I really don't use. You can pull your hair up with them. I'm not a huge fan of tape-ins, honestly. I mean,
I was going to ask you about tape
as
because
a
I know
style,
a lot of people go and get the
a stylist, I
tape-in.
hate doing them. I would think most stylists hate doing them because they're just a
Okay.
pain, they're sticky, they're gross, they're, you know.
Okay.
But in the right hair, it can be fine. But with really, really fine-haired clients, I've noticed that it kind of causes a little bit of damage.
On fine hair.
On really fine hair,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So there's any more extensions that I'm...
And what is the maintenance on your end? On a
So
hair
the hand-tied
extension?
ones are every 8 weeks. You're going to have them taken out and moved up. There's also, I do another one called beaded wefts, which are wefts of hair that are held on with beads.
Okay.
For those ones, I feel like your hair needs to be a little bit thicker than they would need to be with the hand-tied. And those get moved up every 4 weeks. So you keep that hair in your head for 8 months, and every 4 weeks you just move up this bead,
Oh, okay.
basically.
Okay.
So there's so many
Would
options
that
out there
be
now.
uncomfortable and heavy?
I mean,
Do
I
you
feel like
have
I
hand
feel
ties?
these are hand tied, yeah.
Okay.
But so the first couple days was a little uncomfortable. But if you really want long hair, you deal with
Yeah,
it. You're like,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And you know, I
Yeah.
for the woman who has thin, fine
Yes.
hair, and I mean, what can you do for somebody that scalp shows though?
So I'm glad you asked that. The other day, maybe like a month ago, this woman came in drove in from Jamestown and heard that I cut wigs. And she had this amazing hair topper that was so beautiful. It was called Toppers by Sharon. It looks like scalp on the hair. And it's just a piece that kind of goes on here and clips onto the hair that you do have here and falls over everything.
Oh, okay.
And with the most modern colors, it's not like they have, now they have, before you'd get a wig, it'd be like blonde from here to here. Where now they're like rooted and more natural. It was unbelievable. And then she had a little bit of her own hair sticking out the front. Like, unbelievable. It was the first time that I was saying that you could offer someone without wearing a full wig.
Right.
For people who are thin right here on the top.
Yes.
Otherwise, usually extensions kind of go under the top. But I highly recommend those. They're awesome. Highline wigs, they're called, but Toppers by Sharon. Topper by
going
Sharon
good.
will be in my future.
What's that?
I feel like a Topper by Sharon will be in my future someday.
Okay.
I mean, there is clip-ins and stuff too. Another thing I would recommend, which I really love, if your hair is kind of like here or longer, a halo extension. I love them. They're awesome.
You do a lot of those, don't you?
Well, the halos you have to go through an authorized halo dealer, like
Okay.
a salon that has them. We used to have them. Another one girl that left, but I still send people to her because I love them.
Okay.
So they go in a circle.
Okay.
And they kind of just sit, kind of how my extensions are sitting. They kind of sit around here, and on the top it's a fishing wire.
Okay.
And then you just get it to blend with your hair, and you take it on and off when you want to. And it just sits right here, so it's no damage at all. And it just sits in there and gives you the length that you want. And you can get it in any color, and they're a little pricey. They're maybe from $350 to $450, but it will last you years if you take good care of it.
Yeah.
You can get them matched, and there's a lot of imitation ones online that are definitely not as good.
Right,
You have to go to the Halo trademark, I think, to get the best ones.
Yeah, I think. Now, are yours? Are they human hair?
Yes,
Okay.
all extensions basically have to be human hair, as far as if you want to curl it and wash it and stuff.
Right. Okay.
And then if you get hair that's braided in and stuff, that doesn't have to be human hair, but that's kind of a whole different thing.
Okay, so, all right. So the next one comes from Percy 62601. I'm in my 60s, have fine blonde gray hair, and haven't had a stylist that I love since my 20s. Please ask if she knows anyone in the Metro Detroit area she could recommend. Laugh out loud. Looking forward to this video. I wish I had someone I could recommend to you. Do you know anyone?
I
in
don't know
Detroit?
anyone in Detroit, but I have to say, she didn't love her hair since she was 20. It might be because she doesn't have the same hair or face as when she did when she was 20. I hate to say it, because a lot of times people are searching for this one thing that they had at one time. But that's not always the best thing for them now. So I would, if I were her, I would probably find someone, see somebody at the grocery store that you like their hair.
Yes.
And then when you go to a stylist, people say, oh, would you get mad when people bring you pictures? No, because it gets me on the same page with you,
Bring pictures.
Bring pictures
Yes.
and just tell them kind of what you like, what you don't like.
Right.
What you didn't like in the past, what you had at one time that you loved.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Liz D, 227. What at-home hair coloring does she recommend if on a budget?
So, I mean, it's hard to say because my clients will ask me this. I understand that people don't always have the money to get their hair colored.
Yeah, exactly. I totally get it.
I mean,
but you're just not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm just not familiar with it. I couldn't really speak of it.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, though, if you have white hair, it's easier to kind of get that color on the box, but if your hair is not white,
right,
it is so different because you gotta keep in mind underlying pigments. So whenever you go lighter, if you have dark hair, you're gonna pull orange and red and all those things. So if you're not getting something to kind of combat that, I would just kind of stay within 1 to 2 levels of your natural color if you are brown. And if you're gonna go lighter and you don't have gray, make sure that's an ash formula, so it'll kind of cut some of that out of there.
Mm-hmm. If you're a brunette and you want to be a blonde, you need to make an appointment with a professional.
You do, or it's just going to go really bad, and then it's way more money to correct them if it goes bad.
Exactly, and you do a lot of damage.
Yep.
Okay, this one says, what are the better extensions to get to create more volume? We just pretty much cover that. She says, I have a question, Miss Kelly, and that came from Leyland GW. Let's see, Leyland and La Lynn Win. She has a question. What are better extensions to get volume?
To get volume, yeah, I would say it depends what length you want, and what you kind of need.
You can achieve volume with all extensions, couldn't you?
Yeah, kind of just more hair in general. The tape-in ones you can get volume at a kind of shorter length, but then there's Keratin ones that you can. So it just kind of depends on what kind of texture you have in your hair.
Okay. Okay. The next one comes from Victoria Forker. How to keep my light brown hair a medium blonde without redness. Pretty much your color is what I like. I've always done my hair my own color and cut.
Yeah, so what she's looking for is highlights. Highlights are the only way you can lighten and achieve that color you want. No color that you put on your hair is going to give you this when you have brown hair. So the only way you're going to get this light is to highlight it.
All right.
Which only a trained professional should probably do.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The next one comes from Ches Deb. Does anyone make a scalp scrubber to use in the shower besides your fingernails? Of course, Colorproof does.
I just saw it from Colorproof.
It was on my video. You didn't watch my video. Yes.
Oh.
You guys, I noticed it last time I was here. You were carrying it, so I went over to the hair store and I love it. It's got little fingers.
I saw it.
It's great. It's great. You got to try it, and it's linked in my Amazon store. Okay, this comes from 5JS and Lady. Says, you've inspired me to let my hair grow, and I love it, except for the frizz. I use mainly Briogeo and Monate shampoo and Briogeo conditioner. I'm using Briogeo, that's from Sephora.
Okay.
Leave-in conditioner and styling oil, but still some frizz. Can she recommend a good leave-in conditioner to eliminate frizz, but won't weigh down the hair?
Yes, so she's got something, so leave-in conditioners and oils have no hold in them. So it's going to help with the moisture problem, but it's not going to help with the frizz problem. So that's why I was saying with the Colorproof smoother, use a little bit of that, but you wouldn't maybe necessarily need a leave-in and an oil and the smoother.
You could eliminate.
You could eliminate one of those, yeah. So maybe don't put the leave-in in, and use the Colorproof, and I'll show you which bottle I'm talking about. Maybe you can link it in your thing, but so I would just do a little bit of that smoother everywhere. And when you're putting on the smoother, you can't just do this. You got to go through, if your hair's frizzy all over, you got to go through every section and make sure that it's getting on everything, or else it's not going to do its job.
And another very important step when you have frizzy hair is you must dry it completely.
100%. Yes. You either don't dry it at all, or dry it 100%.
Yes.
If you do that in between stuff, it's gonna look good when you leave, and then 1 second later, you go to work, you're because it just
then once you hit the minute, it's gonna steam.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so what are you doing here now?
What am I doing? Just checking through making sure I got everything.
She's just checking to make sure she got everything.
Checking it all. Making sure I did my job.
I don't like one-dimensional hair. That's why Kelly does it. Now, the next time I come in, I'll probably have her do lowlights because I'll feel like I'm too blonde.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care to be, I don't like being super blonde, but in the summer, you not let her play.
Too blonde. What?
I know.
I'm just kidding. No, I've actually been going darker myself.
That's what Lisa would be saying. Did she just say too blonde?
Yes. Oh, and that's another thing. It actually reminds me of Lisa because as a stylist, you have to know when they say they want a different hair color and they're blonde, you got to do a whole...
Oh, because she went brunette?
Yeah, well, which a lot... In fact, we have a girl that just started here who I put on my Instagram. She had blonde hair, and a whole day I kept thinking, oh, you look at his redhead, you look at his redhead. And at the end of the day, she asked me, would I look good with red hair? And I was like, yeah. Can I do it? And she's like, yeah. So she did it. I'm like, have you been red before? She's like, oh yeah, I've been red before. And I said, okay, so you're not gonna like freak out, because I just met her.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna freak out, you're not gonna like, oh, I don't need to be blonde again. She's like, no, I've been brown. She was here, and it looked amazing. It looked so beautiful. I see her a week later, she tried to make it blonde herself. Because I didn't know her well enough to make the decision for her. But like, if you told me you wanted red hair, I'd be like, I'll see you later, Tam.
Oh,
no,
if
you
I
don't.
told you I wanted brown hair, you'd say I'd see you
Oh
later.
yeah, totally, yes. And it's mostly a blonde going any other color, typically.
Yeah.
Because we're a little crazy. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay, so what you doing, Kel?
Okay, so I am toning in between your foils with colorants.
Okay.
And the formula is 9 GB and 10N. Just add a little bit of gold into it.
Yes.
Typically, when your hair was darker and we lifted it, we had to like combat the orange. But what happens is when you're naturally grayer, when the hair kind of fades out, it just kind of gets like, if it needs some tone.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times, women of a mature age, myself included, look better with a tiny bit of gold in their hair. Not saying like gold, just a little tiny bit of warmth, because ash is so tough on like skin and everything else.
I agree.
But just, you know, I'm not saying orange by any means, but just like a little bit warm.
Right.
You know, not gray.
No, I agree totally.
I've had my hair kind of grayish, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh. It's tough to wear unless you wear a ton of makeup, and unless you wear, you know, for someone who's, you know, my age.
Right.
You know, that funky, cool color, which is impossible to keep and maintain, and the whole thing of it. So, if it's in your head, get it out of your head. Don't want that.
Exactly.
But this is just going to kind of condition it, make it smoother. I'm leaving the ends of your highlights out. This will help with frizz, and just make it look shinier and healthier. It's not that much darker.
You know, Kel, I do have a question that wasn't asked. How long do you recommend someone not wash their hair after a fresh color?
Ideally, like 48 hours.
Yeah.
But
and they definitely shouldn't be masking or heavy conditioning.
Yeah, I don't think, because sometimes I do feel like, not all, some of the masks, especially if you have the heat with them, can kind of open the cuticle up a little bit and just kind of pull out a little bit of color.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Kind of avoid it. And too, if you're a blonde that like uses purple shampoo, don't use purple shampoo until it starts getting yellow, because if you start using purple shampoo right away, you could end up with a gray situation.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a question that has been asked since my hair video, how I feel about purple shampoos, and I never use one.
Yeah.
Now, how do you, I mean, a lot of people are using, Wow has a purple.
Okay,
and
I haven't tried theirs yet.
them. Yeah. But how do you in general feel about them, and how often should they be used, and who needs them?
Okay, so I think that there is a need for them for sure. And typically, well, it used to be that most of the purple shampoos were kind of a stronger shampoo. In order to hold the dye load, the shampoo couldn't have been good. But now there's so many good brands that make them, and there's ones that are stronger than others. And you know, like Unite makes a super strong one, really, really strong, which I love it, but only for certain people. It's called Blonda.
And who are those people that you?
People who get super yellow, really, really yellow.
And water can affect that, can't it?
Yeah,
right?
water, minerals,
well
all
water,
that kind of
the
stuff.
minerals.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, Wow just came up with a new product called Dream Filter, which I'm just starting to use.
Okay.
So just spray it on for 3 minutes to get the minerals off your hair, and then shampoo it.
Oh.
So I haven't tried it to know about it yet, but the before and after pictures are like unbelievable. But like it could be lighting, it could be any of those things. So I can't really speak about it too much until I really know about it.
Okay.
I like Colorproof makes a blonde purple shampoo. which is really nice, and a good quality shampoo. It's not won't make it overly yellow. But just being out in the sun and the weather, blondes tend to get a little bit yellow.
Okay.
And purple neutralizes yellow. And if you're a brunette that gets brassy in the sun, Joico makes a blue shampoo. So the opposite of orange is blue.
Right.
So that can help kind of keep your hair toned until you can get to your stylist too.
For my brunette friends. Okay.
Yes.
I was unaware of that.
Yep.
That there was a blue shampoo for them.
There probably is other brands. That's just one that I know
Yeah.
of that has one. They have a blue conditioner and stuff too.
Okay. So you do recommend them though.
Yep. My highlight in the front, if this gets a little yellowy,
Yes.
I'll slap a little purple shampoo on that.
Okay. But it's something, again, only when they're noticing the yellow, not on every shampoo.
No, definitely not. Unless
Okay.
you want that super ashy kind of silver gray look, then you may have to use it every shampoo.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe once a week.
Okay, so now I wanted to add a little personal note about Kelly to make her even more attractive.
God.
Kelly
These
is
braces
married
really
to,
help.
Kelly is married to, for those of you who watch The Bachelor, Kelly is married to one of the ex-bachelors. He wasn't the winner.
Yeah, like he was on the Bachelor.
What year? Oh, Bachelorette. Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. There would only be one Bachelor.
Yes. So
Okay.
he made like top 3. I think it was the season 2. I think it was
Season
with
2.
Meredith, 2 or 3.
Yes.
I never watched it.
Yes.
But-
And you've been married to him for how long now?
8 years.
8 years, and she has 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. And her children have personality.
Oh yeah. They are spirited little kids.
All right. So what did you just put on, Mikkel?
I put on the
Oh, the color?
yep,
Okay.
Radically
I did take a
Smooth
picture of it, so I'll be able to insert.
anti-frizz serum.
Okay. And this helps with frizzing.
Yep.
And you put toner on my highlights. What toner did you use for that?
Your toner for your baby lights, I just did to your mixture that I had already. I
Okay.
put in a lot of clear
Okay.
to it just to dilute it.
Okay.
So basically just clear with a little bit of color. The
Okay.
same one I put in between.
Okay. And she used a new shampoo on me. Wow. Shampoo and conditioner. It smells nice.
You can see how like wavy your hair is. Although the front's not as wavy, but the back is really, really, really wavy.
Yeah. She's using a wet brush.
Yep. And I have 2 ways I cut your hair.
Okay.
I have one way when you're like, just a little dusting, a tiny bit.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So I cut it,
That's my summer
yes,
hair.
summer hair, yeah. And then your other haircut I do on you is a horizontal layer cut, and that's when you're like, I just need something. I just
Yes.
need something. So I take off a little bit more, and
Well,
I do
in the
that.
fall, I usually
Yeah.
have you take
Yes.
off quite a bit. Because,
Yeah, where now you kind of need the weight on your hair.
Yeah.
Your hair's the type of hair I would never use like texturizing or thinning shears to,
Yes.
just because of the texture of it. It would get too frizzy.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely use that. And then I don't really even take kind of any weight out of your hair at all,
Right.
because you enjoy the fullness of it.
Yeah, I do. I really.
And because your hair's got natural wave, you can get body pretty easily.
Yeah.
If your hair is really straight, then there would be somewhere where you take weight out of there to get a little more body, because you wouldn't want it to be heavy.
Right.
Okay, and then since you're someone who parts your hair on either side all the time,
Right.
I kind of cut your hair from the middle.
Yes.
But if you had a certain part that you wore like every day, which a lot of people are, then I would cut your hair from the part that you always wear your hair.
Okay.
Sorry.
So when someone goes in and wants the cut that you're doing now, which would be the dusting,
Yeah.
and do most hairstylists understand what a dusting means? They should, right?
Yeah, and then also though too, a lot of times people tell me they just want a dusting. So a lot of times I'll cut their hair dry.
Yeah.
They'll come in and I can see like they're kind of dead ends off. But a lot of times people need more than a dusting. I mean,
Yeah.
they're saying a dusting, but you see 6 inches of their hair that's
Yeah.
fried.
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, it's dead to here.
Right.
Do you want me to leave some of the dead on?
Right.
And typically they say yes. And I'm like, okay, which if your hair is dead at the ends, it'll just kind of keep breaking all the way up. So you're almost
Right.
better off getting it cut, And some people's hair just does not grow longer. It'll break off before it gets to that point. My hair is the same way. It will not grow.
Yeah.
Even if I never blow dry it, I just don't have the strength of hair to be long on my own, naturally.
Right. Well, I know genetically I have a good head of hair.
Yeah. You could like pull a truck with your hair, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, like those Pantene commercials.
Did you say I could pull a truck?
Yeah, like there's like a Pantene commercial that the girl's like pulling a truck with her hair.
Oh, I've
You
never
could probably do that. Where most of us couldn't.
But it also, I mean, even though I was genetically blessed with it, I still have to take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, I still have
Oh
to.
yeah, and you do it you style your hair very well.
Yeah.
Blow dry it very well. You take good care of it, so that's why it looks good
Right.
all the time.
Right. And so yeah, she's doing a dusting today, and I do want my layers refreshed.
Yes.
And I'm basically doing that right now so that you all can see how she does it.
Yes. So can I take us off to cut you?
Oh yeah. Just lean in. Come here. Excellent. Multi-dimensional.